Hello and welcome to another series of Mind Map. In today's episode, we will discuss about Revolt of 1857 that is related to history subject. First of all, we will discuss about the importance of this topic for UPSC. Then we will discuss about its introduction, causes of revolt, beginning of revolt, centers of revolt, causes of failure and importance of revolt. Now, talking about the importance of this topic for UPSC, this is an important topic from the perspective of UPSC and it has been asked in UPSC Prelims and Mains 2016 and 2019. Now, let's have a look at a short introduction of the topic. The Revolt of 1857 is one of the most significant rebellions in pre-independent India. It is also known as the First War of Independence. The revolt began on May 10, 1857 at Meerut and gradually spread to various places. Now moving on to the causes of the revolt. The revolt of 1857 started due to various reasons which can be sectioned into 5 broad categories: political causes, economic causes, socio-religious, military and immediate causes. First are political causes. Doctrine of lapse policy denied the adopted here the right to succession, antagonized the ruling class. Subsidiary alliance. It created discontent against the British rule as it was introduced to establish effective control over the kingdoms, which further deepened the resentment. Economic causes include companies' revenue policies, permanent settlement and Rayatwari settlement pushed large proportion of the population into extreme poverty. The British policy emphasized on importing cotton from England, which destroyed all Indian cotton manufacturers. Company led to destruction of local artisans and craftsmen as they lost patronage of the Indian ruler, and imposition of high tariffs on the Indian made good affected the Indian traders and mercantile class. Socio-religious causes, these include the reforms introduced by the British disturbed the traditional fabric of India and created suspicion in the minds of Indians. The activities of Christian missionaries to promote conversions in India created resentment amongst the local people, and the measures like abolition of sati, support to widow remarriage, and women's education were perceived as interference by the orthodox sections. Military causes. The Indian soldiers were also despaired with the British rulers as they had to face severe discrimination. They were paid low remuneration for services compared to their British counterpart. They were not given the foreign services allowances, which was called bhatta, while serving in Sindh. They were restricted from wearing caste and sectarian symbols. An introduction of General Service Enlistment Act made it compulsory for all soldiers to be ready for overseas deployment was considered as a threat. Sign crossing sea meant the loss of caste. And immediate causes include the introduction of the Enfield rifle was the last nail in coffin. The new rifles were to be bitten off before loading and reportedly they were made of beef and pig fat. It was seen an attempt to destroy their religion. Now, if we talk about the beginning of the revolt began at Meerut on 10th May 1857, where the sepoy killed their officers and marched towards Delhi. Once they reached Delhi, Bahadur Shah Zafar was proclaimed as the Emperor of India and the revolt was started under his leadership. Now let's discuss about centers of revolt. Upon starting, the revolt spread to various regions, but it predominantly affected the northern parts of the country. First was Delhi. In Delhi, Bahadur Shah Zafar was the leader. Eventually, the command shifted in the hands of Commander Bakht Khan. Lucknow. Revolt in Lucknow began on 4th June 1857 and Begum Hazrat Mahal took over the reign. British resident Henry Lawrence and several Europeans were killed. However, Lucknow was recovered by the British in March 1858. Kanpur. In Kanpur, the revolt began on 5th June 1857 and it was led by Nana Sahib and he was aided by Tantia Tope. Sir Hugh Wheeler was killed in the revolt at Kanpur. Later, in December 1857, Colin Campbell took over Kanpur. Jhansi. In Jhansi, the command was taken over by Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi. She got estranged with the British after her adopted son was not recognized as the legal heir by them. She joined the revolt on 5th June 1857 and died fighting on 17th June 1858. Bareilly. Khan Bahadur Khan led the rebel in Bareilly and proclaimed himself as the Nawab. His main grievance was low pensions, which was offered by the British. He was defeated by Campbell and was sentenced to death. And Bihar. In Bihar, the revolt was led by Kunwar Singh. He was resentful as the British deprived him of his estate. He struggled with British till he died on 26th April 1858. Now let's understand what were the causes of failure. The study of the revolt highlights various factors which led to the failure of the revolt. First was restricted participation. The revolt was mainly restricted to the northern parts of the country, and the eastern, southern, and western parts of the country did not participate and were mostly unaffected. Lack of support from several sections. Many sections like upper classes, middle classes, and even the intelligentsia did not participate in the revolt. The educated Indians were afraid of the feudal character of the revolt. Thus, they remained neutral. Inferior military technology. The British Army had one of the most developed arms and artillery available, whereas the Indian rebels were dependent on the traditional armaments like swords, spears, axes. It made it difficult for the Indian soldiers to fight with the British. And no united ideology. One of the major reasons for the failure of the revolt, all the sections were fighting against the British for different grievances. They lacked the long-term vision which resulted in their defeat. Now lastly, let's discuss about the importance of this revolt. Although the revolt of 1857 failed, it had few positive points, such as it helped in developing a feeling of nationalism and national unity. It improved Hindu-Muslim unity, and the British grew sensitive in introducing policy. Some measures were taken by them to improve the condition under their rule. Now it's time for the practice questions. First of all, we will note down the prelims question. The educated middle class in India opposed the revolt of 1857, supported the revolt of 1857, remained neutral to the revolt of 1857, or fought against native rulers. You can send the answer of this question in the comment section. And now it's time for the mains question. This question has been previously asked in 2016 mains exam. Question is, explain how the uprising of 1857 constitutes an important watershed in the evolution of British policies towards colonial India. So that's all for today. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching.